The Asian region is one of the most slept on continents in football when it comes to youth talent and quality of established players still on the rise. So what would happen if the best of the best Asian players joined forces to prove themselves in Europe in aim of Champions League glory? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the return of an OG rebuilding series on the channel, the Club/Continent Special. This time the spotlight's on North London, presenting itself as a new epicenter of Asian football as we embark on the Asia-only rebuild challenge. Farewell Mourinho, welcome the man on a mission, Sir BCHD. Just a little refresher of the rebuild rules. Number one, obviously, most importantly, we can only sign players from the Asian region. That includes China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, the list goes on. Secondly, the main overarching goal is curating an all-Asian starting 11 that can ultimately win the Premier League, a domestic cup, most importantly, the Champions League, which we will play the final. There is a sense of urgency as we only have a 5-season time limit to complete the challenge. Let's have it. Now, as most of you know, probably the best, highest rated current Asian player, Heung-min Son, the Korean at Spurs, was a major factor into why I chose Tottenham as the perfect candidate for this type of rebuild. We have solid foundations to work with, so it excites me to recruit as many young Asian talents in FIFA as possible. Some of the talents we have lined up, man, they're so underused in career mode. I'm keen for them to achieve or even surpass their potential. With the squad's energy combined with experience, we might be on the verge of a unique winning formula. Son as the only Asian player throughout this whole Spurs roster, we're gonna have to slowly declutter the club and filter out all the non-Asian talents. It's gonna take a bit of time. We're only starting off with £80 million in the budget, with still some big name players to leave, so you can expect that transfer budget just to skyrocket. Who knows, we might even have to dig deep in the youth academy scouting system to bolster the squad for the long term. Make sure you get involved, leave your comments down below, and request some more continent/country only rebuild challenges we should take on next. I'm trying to finish FIFA 20 off with a couple of these bad boys, a channel staple. Enough of that, Season 1's transfer window, here we go. It's the first signing of the Spurs Asian rebuild era. Right here, we have sealed the deal, £13.8 million for Hwang Hee-chan, arriving from RB Salzburg over in Austria. The South Korean is joining up with his fellow countryman Heung-min Son. It's the first of many arrivals in the summer. With our second arrivals, 2 South Koreans in a row right here, with Kim Min-jae arriving from the J-League or the K-League, I do believe. £7 million we spent on the centre-back, arriving from Beijing actually, so the Chinese Super League, and I've heard a lot of good things about him. Apparently, he's the Korean Virgil van Dijk, so you know he was automatically first on the wish list, so welcome to Spurs, Kim Min-jae. From 2 Koreans in a row now to 2 back-to-back Japanese talents, we have completed the deals for Ritsu Doan, arriving from PSV in the Eredivisie, showing great potential. He's a right-wing threat. In combination with Takumi Minamino, the 24-year-old, recently arrived at Liverpool in January in real life, but we've managed to poach him away from Merseyside. One of our most expensive transfers so far at £12.9 million. Former Newcastle, Sunderland, and Swansea player Ki Sung-young will be making his return to the Premier League, joining his fellow Korean compatriots here at Spurs for £6 million from Mallorca. The heir to that centre midfield throne is actually a decent talent that I've discovered throughout the research of this video, Hwang In-beom. He arrives from the Vancouver Whitecaps in the MLS, only 22 at 72 overall. He has that something special, and I hope he delivers here in North London, because we bought him for £6.4 million. We're just recouping so many South Korean talents in bulk at the minute. It's a solid investment in present and future wing-back Japanese talent right here, as we have secured the services of Takehiro Tomiyasu, who is playing for Bologna right now in the Serie A, and that's where he arrives from. He's actually an exciting prospect. He's versatile, got a whole ton of potential, and is only 20 years of age. The next big thing in Japanese football, and the man who currently retired from the national team, Hiroki Sakai, Japanese World Cup hero in 2018, arrives for £7.3 million over from Marseille. Not only are we focused on the players on the way in, but also on the flip side, players on the exit tour, and it's Toby Alderweireld joining London Premier League rivals Chelsea for £52.5 million. We say goodbye to the 30-year-old veteran Belgian defender, and we say hello to a big lump of cash in the transfer budget. In case you were wondering who is going to be our number one in between the sticks for years to come, it's our first Aussie arriving to the club. club. It's going to be Matty Ryan for £15.6 million. Of course, he was on the books of fellow Premier League club Brighton. He's pretty much the best goalkeeper in the Asia region. And yes, Australia is in Asia. We participate in the Asian Cup, so yeah, I guess it's a little fun fact for those of you who don't know. And right here, we have Riley McGree picked up from Adelaide United in the A-League. We did a cheeky little swap deal plus Oliver Skipp, trading Oliver Skipp plus £4.45 million for the Aussie duo. We welcome with open arms the arrival of a South Korean midfield attacking duo, I should say. £9.4 million spent on Daichi Kamada, arriving from Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. The 22-year-old that definitely looks very promising, but it's one of the most exciting talents in Asian football right now. Making the move from Valencia, it's the exciting prospect Kang Lee, only 18 years of age, tore it up at the Under-19 World Cup last summer. He is definitely one to look out for, and a player I am betting my hopes on carrying this team throughout the seasons, growing exponentially and leading this side as an Asian generational talent. He has definitely got the world at his feet. A wonder kid who I'm so grateful to be able to pick up in the first season, because he will just do a world of good to the squad. Another fellow Aussie has entered the fray, and this time it is going to be Milos Dejenek, arriving from Bielefeld in Germany. Even though he actually plays for Red Star Belgrade, he hasn't been removed from FIFA, and he's just randomly assigned to a club every career mode. So £7.3 million we spent on the Aussie centre-back, only 25. With the majority of our remaining transfer budget exhausted, we have gone for the selling route of players just to completely remove the Tottenham old guard. On the release clause front, we have an activation for Dele Alli from Liverpool for £61.2 million, so we got a lot of sales on the horizons. Gargantuan transfer news that is going to shape the rest of the future of this rebuild as we know it right now. I rumored that Dele Alli activation, and it's come to fruition here. With £61.2 million, Liverpool have got their man, and Jurgen Klopp's brand new English midfielder arrives. This is just the cherry on top, as Harry Kane, Sir Harold Kane, is off to Manchester United. He's bound to play his football at Old Trafford. The final fee for the sale is £110.8 million. The Reds have secured their brand new star striker. Look at all that profit. With 2 transfers, we've got nearly £170 million in the bank. Man United just can't get enough at the moment, as Eric Lamela has been another minor low-key departure, following in Harry Kane's footsteps, heading up north to play for the Red Devils. Another minor departure from the club before a rapid influx of Asian talent joins us. It is Eric Dyer departing for Leicester City. He will be playing his football at the King Power Stadium this season, and we have sold him for £11.9 million. Some rapid-fire player acquisitions right here, some bulk transfers we have to go through as we welcome our first Chinese player to the club in this Asian rebuild. It's going to be Wu Li, the first Chinese goalscorer in La Liga, I believe. He arrives from Espanyol for £13 million. Shoya Nakajima and Shinji Kagawa is making his return to the Premier League for £14.4 million. We had to pay out his release clause, and it's another Japanese attacking talent in Shoya Nakajima, who is surprisingly way younger than he looks. Another defensive inquiry in order to shore up the defense. It's going to be Gen Shoji, the 26-year-old, another Japanese talent arriving from Gamba Osaka for £10.8 million, and we're just making move after move. Spurs fans, you've got to come to terms with it. I mean, it's a mass exodus of all your favorite players, but it has to be done. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I mean, it's part of the rules, and that means that your Champions League hero from 2019, it is Lucas Moura, headed off to Bayern Munich for £22.4 million as he becomes their brand new Brazilian arrival. And no, does not stop there, as Premier League new boys Leeds United pick up Ben Davies for £15 million, and Harry Winks is headed off to Watford for 22.7. End of the window transfers that are kind of low-key in to improve the squad depth of the team, and Ali Adnan is going to be our first Iraqi player to join the side. He is the left back arriving from Vancouver Whitecaps, yet another talent out of the MLS, and surprisingly has a face scan to go along with it. He set us back £7.6 million as a backup, and it's another Japanese talent out of La Liga, Takashi Inui. The 31-year-old like Shinji Kagawa is going to provide some valuable experience to the team and can be a father figure to the young Asian talents on the rise. Throughout this rebuild, one of my main personal goals is to sign as many different players from as many different Asian nations as possible because, you know, Asia, it's a very large continent, got a lot of different countries, a lot of different cultures. Right here we have our first Saudi Arabian talent to join the side. It's Mohamed Kano arriving from Al Hilal in the Saudi Arabian League. It's funny to see that still leaves us with over £135 million to spend, but that's most likely going to be our last transfer of the window. So many transfer moves are in the pipeline. I can't mention them now. I can't speak them into existence just in case they fall through. That was all the business we made possible. £329.4 million profit, many Tottenham faithfuls and long servants of the club departing, and a brand new Asian revolution is coming through to North London. With all those signings now under our belt, this is how the squad is shaping up. We're going to try and bury the hatchet and prove the doubters wrong. Nevertheless, we always have faith, and we're going to see how tough this Asian rebuild challenge is actually going to be. Season 1 is all but over, and here we have a top half of the table finish. More importantly, sitting in 5th of all places. I think they've overachieved, really. Qualifying for the Europa League next season, only 1 point behind Champions League qualification. That is an outstanding debut campaign with Chelsea down in 9th. That definitely cleared up some competition and opened the door for us to finish in Europe. The FA Cup round 4 saw us eliminated 2-0 to Liverpool. There was no luck in round 4 of the Carabao Cup as we were eliminated 2-0 to Everton. I don't know when the next time we'll be seeing Champions League football here in London or when we're going to qualify for it next, but here's how we did in Season 1. 10 points in Group B, Bayern and Spurs progressing through, and in the round of 16 we were up against Barcelona. Actually had a decent fight, only get eliminated 2-1 on aggregate. In terms of our best performers, there could only really be one man. It is Heung-min Son with 26 goals and 5 assists in 52 appearances, the MVP, the top goal scorer, and the marquee man in this Asian rebuild. How long he's going to stay at the top though, as he's approaching 30. Our second highest goal scorer was Hwang Hee-chan with 17 goals and 3 assists. That was 20 goal contributions for the season, and the veteran aging Shinji Kagawa managed 4 goals and 3 assists, as well as Takumi Minamino with 3 goals and 1. Ali Adnan from left back with 2 goals. The future looks bright here at Spurs as the Asian revolution is taken over. If you thought Season 1 was a madness, wait until we embark on Season 2, because we have some plans that are going to blow you out of the water. You just know it can't be an Asian rebuild without the one and only Takefusa Kubo. Obviously, he was first on our shopping list. However, he was on loan at Mallorca last season. Now that he's back at his parent club Real Madrid, we've swooped in for £14 million, baby. The Japanese exciting playmaker. The exciting prospect is one of the most promising and potential-wise best talents in Asia, and is the next big thing in Japanese football. Him and Kangan Lee are going to form a partnership like no other. It's something special to behold. I want to see this bromance coming to fruition. These two lads are the future of this club. It's our first Aussie export in quite a while, as we have managed to secure the services of Daniel Arzani. He signs on the dotted line, and he's become one of the most promising Australian talents in recent memory. Such a baller, in fact, that Manchester City acquired him back in 2018, I do believe, and he actually was out on loan at Celtic, so we couldn't pick him up in the first season. We managed to only pay out £4 million. That's a bargain. If there's anyone it happens to, I hope Dynamic Potential just takes his career to new heights, as he's shown great potential from the get-go, but I believe he's got so much more to prove. He can play on either side of the wings, and is also a main number 10. You know what? We're gifting him the number 10. We got high expectations for the Aussie, and I'm sure he can deliver. Comes with a cheeky face scan as well. So Daniel Arzani, I was actually, fun fact, at a pub with him before he flew with Australia to the World Cup in 2018. The only problem is that I didn't even see him there. I only was informed after the night that Daniel Arzani was actually there. I could have had a photo with Daniel Arzani to show you guys, but that's for another day. Call it the Aussie hat-trick, thunder from down under. We have had not one, but 3 Aussies come and join us here after that Daniel Arzani transfer. We have Trent Sainsbury arriving for £10.9 million. He arrives from Gil Vicente, I believe, is in France. And we also do have Brighton's Aaron Moy. We are focused on the youth, but it's a mixture of experience to join us here in Season 2. Just for that icing on top of the cake, it is a La Masia Youth Academy graduate. £4.8 million we've had to spend and activate the release clause of Hiroki Abe. Abe, I got no idea. However, he arrives from Barcelona, 21 years of age. Japan have honestly got so many generational talents in their nation, in their roster. It is crazy. He's got that Heung-min Son, heir to the throne kind of vibe. And just for some future context, I have actually gone ahead and set up some scouting networks over in the Asian region. So we have had our 3 nations right here. We've got Saudi Arabia, Australia, and China all getting scouted. I'll let you know as that progresses to see if there are any perfect youth academy candidates ready for the first team promotion task. On the selling side of things, it is Serge Aurier finally departing the club for £16.3 million. He is headed to the north of Italy over to Sampdoria for £16.3 million. In what continues to be my mission of this rebuild to have as many Asian nations represented in the team, we have gone after our first Iranian player, Saman Ghoddos, over from Amiens in France. The League One striker will join us, just some more depth, some more quality to add to the side, and of course, yet another nation we can include. Surprisingly, it does have a face scan in game as well, so that's always an added bonus. We are going to accept him as our 6th transfer of the summer. It was definitely a more quality over quantity type transfer window we went for. That was the strategy headed into season 2, and it set us up nicely for the years ahead. It's come that time of the season where we just need a bit of youth intake right now in the squad to path the way forward to the future. We have to decide what players we want to promote in the side, and we have found some decent talents from Saudi Arabia, China, and of course Australia. So what we're going to do, I'm going to promote Zhu Lan Tang, the 18-year-old left back with 95 potential, £1.2 million valuation. Welcome to the first team. Considering in Asia there aren't really too many high potential goalkeepers, Guisan Ma fills that quota perfectly. He goes against the grain, 62 overall. I know he's only 16, but with that 94 potential, you can't say no. Out of these 3 left mids, the 2 Aussies, I'm going to have to say you guys can't cut it, because Gong Sun Sun, what a name. 66 overall, £1.3 million value, and has that 94 potential. The Youth Academy scouts in China have pulled through with some hidden gems. It's a revolutionary season in terms of backing up our Premier League credentials. We have finished 5th 2 years running, so no second season syndrome here. The Asian rebuild is feeling as strong as ever, and we're only 2 points away from equaling Arsenal and qualifying for the Champions League, but it's Europa yet again for season 3. Liverpool take out the title, and we finish above Chelsea. The FA Cup saw us get knocked out in round 4, 2-1 to Manchester United, and a heartbreaking elimination in the Carabao, 1-0 to Liverpool, and you guessed it, round 4. It's a curse. Wasn't expecting us to do much in Europe, however, we did finish invincible in the group, 16 points, alongside Genk, Feyenoord, and Storm Graz. In the round of 32, we defeated Ajax 4-2 in an aggregate. The Dutch side knocked out of the competition, and then we end up losing out 2-1 to Benfica in the round of 16. All of our cup runs cut short, and a remarkable follow-up Premier League season. Here are the MVPs of season 2, and it's Heung-min Son with arguably his best season of his career, really, with 37 goals and 15 assists in 55 appearances, 52 goal contributions from the South Korean poster boy, and right now his fellow striker with 20 goals and 9 assists, it's Hwang Hee-chan, slowly developing into a reliable source for goals and might become a cult hero in up top, still at only 25. Kangin Lee, the South Korean playmaker. It's all about the Koreans at the moment, as they seem to be performing and relishing here in the Premier League. 13 goals and 6 assists for Kangin Lee, 7 goals for Riley McGree from midfield, and it's Daniel Arzani with a bit of a breakthrough season here. 16 appearances, 5 goals and 1 assist for the Australian wonder kid. Takafusa Kubo with a bit of a slow start, slow season for him in the Prem with 4 goals and 2 assists, and it's Shoya Nakajima off the bench with 4 goals. Here comes to my great disappointment, though we have to say goodbye to Takashi Inui, a cult hero here at Spurs. In the short time he was here, he's retiring at the end of the season at only 33. Farewell, mate. It's Europa League qualification for season 3, a chance for us, if we win the competition, to qualify for the Champions League in season 4. I'm thinking long-term, baby. Still a lot of work for us to do, growth and development all across the board. This process just feels so rewarding right now. We begin season 3 summer transfer window with a South Korean midfield reinforcement. It is Park Seeing-ho arriving from Darmstadt in Germany for £6.7 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you take a look at his photo, I think he was from the Barcelona La Masia Youth Academy at one stage of his career. I don't know, someone's gonna have to fact check me on that, but I remember him having a semi-decent potential in a few FIFAs gone by. Hopefully we can turn that around. His career hasn't really panned out the way everyone thought it would. A forgotten wonder kid that can pick up the pieces and really provide us with quality and depth in the Asian Revolution. It's the double Aussie transfer alert as the Thunder from Down Under arrives. We have the country's most promising wonder kid in career mode behind Arzani, Jacob Italiano. He has an 80s potential and arrives from Borussia Mönchengladbach for £2 million. The 19-year-old left midfielder could be, I don't know, maybe Australia's answer to Eden Hazard. You never know, with dynamic potential in the mix. And we also seal the deal for a backup centre-back, the heir to the throne in that #1 spot. Harry Suter arrives from Stoke City for £2 million yet again. The 22-year-old centre-back with a lot of room to grow and develop. We've struck an agreement with Cologne to sell the Argentine defender Juan Foyth for £11.2 million. He's off to the Bundesliga. It's the third Aussie arrival of the window so far, and this summer continues to pack the heat with more attack and firepower and just beefing the squad up in general, it's our Mobile arriving from FC Midtjylland for £12 million. It shows that the Asian continent has so many attacking talents, especially on the wings, and our Mobile is no exception. Arriving from South Sudanese descent, welcome to North London, Mr. Mobile. To wrap up our transfer dealings, we pick up our 5th signing of the window, wonder kids galore, as Jong Woo Young, former Bayern Munich 2-man. His right midfielder can play on either side at 71 overall and with a decent potential as well, so we gave him a shot. Our mindset in this window was thinking about the future stars of tomorrow and who is going to be there leading the way in the next generation of Asian talent. Now that we have more of an established squad, we can focus more on other areas, and here is how the side is lining up, with Hang Hee Chan leading the lineup, top 82 overall, Lee in the midfield, Kubo sitting in CM, meanwhile Arzani and Sun on the wings, and we do have that back four of Adnan, Soji, Kim Min Jae and Tomiyasu, and it's our number 1 Matty Ryan in between the sticks. Here is our Europa League group. If all else fails in the Premier League and we just completely bomb out, here's our one and only shot of Champions League qualification. Group I with RB Salzburg, Standard Liège and FCSB. Season 3 Premier League hopefuls, and for the first time we finish outside the European contention, sitting in 6th with 72 points. We've slumped down one position, however we do finish above Arsenal though, so that's a bit of an added bonus. We're gonna have to rely on Europa League action to see if we qualify for Europe or the Champions League. In the FA Cup we get knocked out in round 5 to Manchester City 2-1. And in the Carabao Cup, elimination strikes again. They've got a vengeance against us. It's Man City again, 2-0 elimination. We ended up top of our group again without taking any L's, so I'm proud of that. We do finish on top, and it was a 3-1 elimination to Roma, round of 32. We make it through to the round of 16, and we just narrowly make it out against the German side of Wolfsburg 4-3. And then in the quarterfinals, it's a 2-1 elimination of Ajax. We made it all the way to the semis, and we clutch it again with a 5-goal thriller on aggregate, 3-2 to Tottenham. And baby, we're through to the Europa League final up against Olympique Lyon. It won't be a European final without one of our best players being suspended. Hwang Hee Chan has to be replaced for Kamada up top, and Minamino is going to start for the final. We had to shift around the lineup just here and there. Yunmin Sun captaining the Asian Continental Rebuild out tonight on only our first chance for silverware, but also a spot in Season 4's Champions League. Who will step up to the plate tonight? And it's a 1-0 victory in the Europa League final in the last 8 minutes of the match. It is Kangin Lee with the decisive goal to get us our 1-0 dub, and it's going to be Champions League bound for Tottenham Hotspur. Let's go. This is a pivotal moment of the rebuild. It's a night that'll go down in history. Without our main striker in up top, we managed to pull through. Here are our main performers for Season 3, and come to the end of it, it is Heung-min Son basically playing every single match this season with 25 goals and 13 assists. He's slowly deteriorating, approaching his 30s. However, the captain has been instrumental throughout as we move down to Hwang Hee Chan, our main goal scorer up top with 17 goals and 7 assists, still misses out on the golden boot. Daniel Arzani, it was a standout season for him with 9 goals and 1 assist, 10 goal contributions, and Takfuzu Kubo slightly improving. It's that overall with a +4, now sitting at an 83. We do have Wu Li off the bench, the Chinese hitman with 4 goals, and it's our Europa League final hero, Kangin Lee, with that most crucial 82nd minute strike to secure us the title, and it's Hwang In Byom with 10 goal contributions from midfield. We gotta step our game up if we want any hopes for back-to-back Champions League qualification and to compete in Europe's best competition. Let's show what the Asian continent's made of in Season 4. After a 4-year absence from the competition, it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. We've been thrown into the mix right here, drawn into Group A alongside Borussia Dortmund, SL Benfica, and Dinamo Zagreb. Hopefully we bring our A game and we come out on top as Spurs are back in the big time. Upon our return to the competition, we weren't wasting any time as we finished comfortably in second, right behind Dortmund with 1 point difference. And in the round of 16, we get matched up against Valencia, so I guess we got the luck of the draw. Dortmund face Inter, and we have a trip to Spain on our hands. A little bit of a sneak preview of the Premier League table halfway through Season 4, and we are on fire. Haven't dropped a game so far. 23 games played, and we're sitting on top of the tree with 63 points. Man United, Man City, and Liverpool are hot on our tails. They're closest contenders, but this might be our year. I don't want to jinx things here. We're still in the round 4 of the FA Cup, and in the Carabao, we've been knocked out already. 4-1 to Liverpool in the quarterfinals. It's just something about this team, man. I mean, they've just taken it up a notch. Some training, minimal sessions here and there, and I just think the team morale, the chemistry has just gelled together, and it's really coming into place, clicking into place. We have a brand new starting goalkeeper ahead of Matty Ryan. It is the Chinese goalkeeper, Ma. He's only only 17 and already at an 83, man. That early investment in the youth academy has paid off in dividends. There are still obvious faults in this squad. However, come the halfway stage, we're on track to at least completing a few silverware objectives. Whether we go all the way, I'll leave that up to the team themselves and see what they got left in the tank. It was final day heartbreak as the Premier League title evaded us despite only losing one game all season. It was Liverpool who took it out with 102 points, but with 3 points behind the Reds. Therefore, it is a league title gone begging. Very much a four-horse race for the ultimate crown in English football, and in the FA Cup, we got knocked out in round 5 to Manchester City. Now, can the Champions League be our last redeeming factor of this season? Back in the competition and back amongst the goals, because it was a 3-1 aggregate win over the Spanish outfit Valencia. Now in the quarterfinals, we won on away goals against PSG. Wow, you'd expect that from those French bottle jobs. They always seem to stuff up the Champions League in the last few rounds. As we move into the semi-finals, on away goals against Manchester City, a side that has haunted us throughout this entire rebuild. We win 4-4 in aggregate. What am I seeing on my screen? And we have the chance to get revenge on Liverpool in the Champions League final. Season 4 has delivered something out of this world. All of a sudden, they've just activated God mode or something because they've reached another element. That's right, we are yet to conquer any domestic fronts at the moment, and it has been devastating, frustrating to say the least. However, with this squad, it has seemed that Europe has been the main forefront of their minds and has been the focus throughout. No matter how many times they got knocked out against Man City or Liverpool in the domestic cups, they picked themselves back up and had a good old crack at it in Europe, and that has led to one Europa League crown and now potentially the chance to wrap up this rebuild ever so beautifully with a Champions League title. The majority of these wonder kids have come into fruition in these late stages of the season. Daniel Arzani, the most improved, with a +6 now standing at an 83. Quality, depth, world-class brilliance all across the pitch, and this is what Asia has got to offer. This is the talent on display. You love to see the old guards stick along for the ride as well, like Wu Li, and I believe Kagawa is still playing at 34. The lads didn't hang up the boots. They believed in the project, and it's even Ki Sung Young at 34 now to 68 overall. So we've got a few veterans. We got the wonder kids coming through the ranks. It's just a great mixture. Hui Sun Ma had the season of his life at 18. He grew +11 to an 86. That was basically the difference between us actually competing this year and just being another failed season. It's the goalkeeping career mode that really makes or break your squad. One last look at the main performers, the stats this season. It is Heung-min Son again being the main MVP, the captain, now reaching his pinnacle at 30 with 34 goals and 11 assists. Another campaign where he's literally played every single game. Gotta give it to him. The work rate's impeccable, as we do have Hwang Hee-chan hitting that landmark 30 goals. He's always up in the goal scorer in the ranks with 8 assists in there as well. And Daichi Kamada, who has really been lurking in the shadows throughout this entire rebuild until now, he's burst out the blocks with 20 goals and 9 assists. Obviously, he was a backup striker to Hwang Hee-chan. He provided to be a great source of goals. It's actually Ali Adnan. I was giving him some slack being the lowest rated player in the starting 11, but he has provided the Iraqi defender 9 goal contributions. Actually, Takafusa Kubo with a bit of a disappointing season, only 4 goals and 1. It's 10 goal contributions for the main man Daniel Arzani in the middle of the pitch. Changin Lee with 7 goal contributions. As we scroll our way down, the Korean Van Dijk +6 to his overall at an 86, and it's another one. I call him the Korean Tony Cruz, Hwang In Biom. It's unprecedented growth, unprecedented scenes here in North London as we take on Liverpool for the Champions League final. Here is our team sheet. Here is the starting 11. Going into the match, wish us luck. The stage is set. It's the biggest night of this team's life, and it's a chance to prove the doubters wrong in Europe. An Asian all-starting 11 are ready to take home a crown. All the experience in the world at 30 now. Heung-min Son, your time is now. Of course, that is the trophy we're all fighting for. It's actually a replay of the Champions League final in 2019. One of the most boring games of football I've ever laid my eyes on. So hopefully tonight's fixture is going to replicate what we saw last year. Talk about representing a club, representing a country, but representing a continent is just another kettle of fish. Don't get it twisted, Jurgen. We mean business. We're out for revenge as they stole our Premier League trophy off us on the last day of the season, and we're clutching at straws for a fairy tale finish. This is how the Liverpudlians line up, with Neres entering the front three. They've got Goretzka, Keita, Van Dijk, De Vrij, Corona. Full strength starting 11 for both sides, and it's Hwang Hee-chan to kick us off. Goretzka over the top through to Mane. And in the early stages, Liverpool not wasting any time, bursting out the blocks. And Sadio Mane with the delivery inside. It is Goretzka. Ma claims it. Got down low. Robertson finds it through to Goretzka. And the German could easily square it through to Roberto Firmino. And it's Liverpool within the opening 15 minutes to find their opener. And it's their reliable Brazilian centre forward to strike it. Carving through our defense like it wasn't even there. Well worked from Jurgen Klopp's men. And the Reds take full advantage. 1-0 up in the Champions League final. Give me something, Kangin Lee. Kangin Lee can find it through to Hwang Hee-chan. Alisson off his line. Alisson off his line. He tried going near post, but it's evaded him. Kim Jai, just get that out of there. Hwang Hee. Oh, that's a beautiful headed win. Heung-min Son, now ball over the top. This could be the counter-attack of dreams. That's Hwang Hee-chan. One-on-one with Alisson. Surely going to sweat it across to the Aussie. Daniel Arzani gets in there. Our number 10 gets around the equaliser, blowing kisses to the crowds, and it's right in front of the Spurs travelling fans. 1-1 in the Champions League final, and the equaliser arrives half an hour in. It was a vintage counter-attack, and Daniel Arzani, all he had to do was slot it into an empty net. Get around him, lads, because the Aussie has struck gold in the Champions League final, the biggest stage of them all. You gotta love him and that moustache. Daniel Arzani, you hero. Liverpool are resting on their laurels. They are not starstruck by that equaliser whatsoever. And it's a delivery at the near post. Ma came out well to block it. And Firmino thought he had a double. Then this counter-attack from Liverpool. Naby Keita with the delivery and a half. And it's Sadio Mane on the end of this one. On the flanks, it is going to be Goretzka arriving in the middle. Defender completely misses it. And it's yet again a defensive error that's setting us back. Leon Goretzka, their midfield dominator, has completely taken full advantage and punishes us 10 times out of 10. If we keep making mistakes like that, Liverpool are going to walk all over us. And I think it was Takefusa Kubo on defensive duties. You can't blame him. And that's just going to wipe all our hard work away. Leon Goretzka's got no chill. Trent Robertson right there. Hwang Hee-chan now. Oh, it is Heung-min Son off the kickoff with the volley. Oh, my goodness me. Our number 7. He goes up to the camera, dedicates that one to the fans. And we wasted no time bursting straight out the blocks with an equaliser. Heung-min Son, when you need a captain, when you need a leader, they rise in the most difficult situations. And he's hit that so sweetly. You can't dream of strikes like those. And Corona's got no idea what came to him. A bounce and into the back of the net. Oh my days, this man is a magician. A fatal finish. They don't call him Sonaldo for no reason. 2-2, baby. The referee calls it their halftime. What an opening to a Champions League final. This has just got twists and turns written all over it. 2-2 going into the break. Second half's underway, boys. This is a pressure cooker situation. Takefusa Kubo. Kangin Lee somehow gets a foot to it, and Hwang Hee-chan, ball over the top. Arzani heads it back. Somehow Takefusa kept a hold of it. And it's back to Kubo, and that was not the pass I was after. And again, in those moments where we're in and around the box, we just falter under the pressure. No. Ali Adnan overcommitted. And now it's David Neres. Is he going to pinpoint a pass? It is Leon Goretzka. No shots allowed. Takefusa Kubo back on the D. Finds it out wide. It's Kangin Lee. Again, a massive hole has opened up in this Liverpool defense. Can we exploit it? Daniel Arzani in one-on-one for his second, and Alisson denies him. The Brazilian shot stopper showing his class, and it's Ciro Immobile on for Roberto Firmino. And surely Tomiyasu can get there first. No, Ciro Immobile fresh off the bench. Tomiyasu gets there first, and it's a delivery inside. Someone's injured for Liverpool at the back, and he's keeping everyone on side. Takefusa Kubo with the strike. And again, Kangin Lee, it's just ping-pong chaos around the area. Daniel Arzani have a crack. Daniel Arzani with the follow-up. And it's another deflection that could have gone our way. This is going to be the most craziest Champions League final I've been a part of. And we still got 15 minutes to go. Another substitute for Liverpool, Leon Goretzka, the goal scorer, off for Jorginho Wijnaldum. They're going to be needed. Oh, no. Sadio Mane. Liverpool, are they going to take full advantage? And thankfully, it's off target by the Senegalese winger. We haven't used any substitutes yet. I keep faith in the boys as we move over to Heung-min Son. He's going to cut back inside. Delivery in the middle. It's Daniel Arzani. Why has he headed that? Daniel, son. Oh, Lovely ball outside. It is to Wang Hui-Chan, and it's a goal at the near post. I see it, but I do not believe it. A finisher, cold-blooded, strikes in the Champions League final. We've got to count our blessings. How has Daniel Arzani won that header? Tomiyasu with the layoff. And oh my goodness me. If you talk about finishing quality, he's got spades of it, mate. Wang Hui-Chan with his 9th goal in the Champions League. We've hit the front with 8 minutes remaining. Just like that, with 5 minutes to go, it's tactical decision, triple sub. It is Kamada on for Wang Hui-Chan, Minamino on for Arzani, and Riley McGree off for Takafusa Kubo. Oh, Takafusa Kubo wins a dangerous area. It surely is a sealer. And it's Kamada off the bench. Super sub. And he gets the 4th to make this game sealed, signed and delivered. Surely Spurs are going to be European champions. 4-2 up. And it's the Japanese substitute to make his mark. A defensive error from Stefan de Vrij. And Takafusa Kubo just has eyes at the back of his head. He knows who is around him at what time. And Kamada with his first touch of the game. So BCHD with the fist bumps on the sidelines. He knows we're getting our hand on the trophy tonight as the Asian Rebuild show their worth in Europe. Dying embers of the match for Liverpool. Oh, Fabinho off the crossbar. And again, Chamberlain with the attempt. And that is going to be the final whistle. Doesn't matter in the end. When you talk about a display of champions, when you talk about the streets will never forget, I'm telling you, they won't be forgetting this in 100 years' time. It's one to write home about, one to tell the grandkids about, as the Asian Rebuild conquer Europe in the most classy fashion yet. A 4-2 display, and in times when we were down, in times when we needed a bit of inspiration, our heroes stepped up. We were 2-1 down in that match, and thankfully, Heung-min Son rose to the occasion. Daniel Arzani, the Aussies, got on the score sheet, and I'm sure there was about 3 nationalities scoring for us in that final. What a night, what a journey, what an experience. It's the return of an OG rebuilding series, and I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It was definitely a ride I will never forget. We're going to be witnessing Heung-min Son get his hands on a trophy, not only for Spurs, but his continent as well. Talk about representing a team, a country, but a continent as a whole has got to be a much bigger and better feeling. Make sure to drop it a like down below, hit subscribe, turn on those notifications for more FIFA 20 and upcoming FIFA 21 content arriving to the channel. Drop your comments down below. Who should we be rebuilding next in terms of the country/club rebuilds? I'm trying to get a few of these out before FIFA 21. Just to finish off on a high, if you do, feel free to check out the social links in the description. Join the Discord, follow me on Insta, follow me on Twitter. As always, I've been BCHD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the very next video.